Hello,
That's so
everybody.
funny.
We're getting started.
Hi.
Yo.
Let's fade in here.
Oh, werewolf.
Chef, do you abandon
God,
Brendan
yes.
too? Yeah, well,
I
you've never
don't have
been
time.
on
I
the-
mean, if like,
You gotta-
guys
you
at work
gotta
wanted to
give
keep
it a
playing, I would
try.
definitely keep playing. But they don't want to keep playing. So it's like, well, I'm not gonna be playing it for work. And in my free
Game of
time,
the
I still
year
gotta
material, I'm
I still
telling
gotta
you.
beat Zelda, which I'm basically there.
You haven't beaten
Why does everyone care? I don't get why
Sorry.
everyone cares so much. I'm gonna beat it. Like it's
Because
gonna happen.
it's good, and we want to talk to our friend about how good it is.
That
you
doesn't sound
loser.
likely. That
You
doesn't
sometimes don't
sound.
beat
Zelda, because you're in Nintendo
That
jail.
doesn't
so
sound
from
likely
now on, it's
at
called
all. And
Zelda.
now I'm playing Pikmin 4, and that game fucking rules. So I just, I don't have time. I want to go back to
Fuck
running it, but
Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4 is the fucking best. Okay, let's see
Remnant is good.
here.
It
I
gets-
got
it gets
a
gooder and
Mikey.
gooder.
I got to get this music going, and then I think we'll probably be good because I tweeted already.
All right, I've
Yeah, we
tweeted
did.
too. Nice TT in the
I
background.
tweeted.
Mike.
No, you exceeded.
TT.
Am I seated?
You exceeded. Exceeded.
Oh,
how do we
Zeded.
say?
God,
No,
Jesus
it's
Christ. I don't
It was
say it.
No, it was never even
TT,
called that
motherfucker.
anyways. What the heck is what's a TT? Nice TT in the background. What's my TT?
nice titties.
Okay.
Oh, is it
let's see,
because
what
of
does this do? What
Golden
does this
Axe?
do? Nice
My
to
Golden
see
Axe thing. Hey, thank you for that
Hey,
first super
You
chat.
guys hear
Ezekiel.
me?
Appreciate it.
Start cheering now.
Hear that?
Yeah.
Hey,
And
you guys
chat's
hear
hearing
me?
it.
Start cheering.
They're only hearing it
now.
once, so I think I believe in my heart that we are ready.
Yes.
Do you really
Shit.
believe that in your heart?
No.
Hard cry.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna count. I'm gonna start recording, and I'm gonna hit the button. Mike, are you ready?
I'm ready.
In 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now. Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I'm a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
We are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, August 1st, 2023, we are talking about the Switch 2, the future of Smash Brothers, and Metroid Dread sales numbers. Jeff,
Woo!
how are
Greatest
you
game,
doing?
greatest best-selling game in the history of the world.
Yes, that's exactly it. Jeff, you had a little vacation break here.
Yeah, I'm
Big
glad to
long
be
weekend.
back. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. I took some notes on. I listened to the UPF on Friday. You were surprisingly moderate on most things. Because maybe it's just a comparison to Dan. But it was funny. Like the couple of times you would say something that like Bacalar or Dan couldn't believe, and I enjoyed that very much because it's just like, yeah, guys, like this is what. Here's the biggest thing. For you and Dan, as picky eaters, to be so confident in your opinions. You're like, they don't know. They know what they like, and they just say
Oh
it.
yeah, I think I was correct about pretty much everything. Like, was there? Do you remember anything that upset you specifically?
Well, I didn't like you saying N64 is mid, but I totally understand what you're saying when you're saying that. And I don't.
Had a rough matchup against the Dream. I don't. It's just I like the Nintendo 64. I do,
I know.
obviously.
Yes.
A lot of good games, but it's not like I feel no warmth towards Nintendo 64. I would not have a Nintendo 64 collection. I would not have like a Nintendo 64 like logo like hanging in my room or anything like that. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like N64 plenty, but then what else? It was funny just to have you do the movies are mid thing. That was very good too.
Yeah, hockey's over movie. Let's do it.
Yeah, that
Speaking
was
of
good.
things that people say are mid and like anyways, I see your Crash Bandicoot shirt over there.
Hey,
Jeez.
I literally played it today to be like, let me just double check. It's mid. It's like
Oh, shut the hell up!
it
You're so
is.
bad at it.
I don't
Is it because
get-
you die?
No, it's not because I die. It's because it's bad. It's like
Bad.
the control.
He's
Like,
bad at it.
like the
He
way
gets
the
frustrated.
camera moves. It's like, oh, we're just lackadaisically going through this level. Here we go. And
You're bad at it. You're mad.
It's not. I mean,
It's a
listen,
skill issue.
it's just not a very fun video game to play. It's a big issue.
Well,
I
then I'll
think.
be happy to take that shirt off of you
All right,
next
well,
time I
next
see
time
you.
you're here, I will give you this shirt. I bought it in Chicago, so you can have it.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, I was at Target. I needed some socks, and I saw this at Target. I'm like, I'll get this too. But and then as I was getting it, I'm like, I should download Crash Bandicoot so I can play it some more, so I can like firm up my opinion on it.
Oh my god.
It's.
What about?
I wish
what
I
about
liked
Crash
it.
4?
Crash 4 is good. Crash 4 is a good game. Like that's
I mean,
actually a
you did
good
sure.
game. They like figured out a lot of stuff with Crash 4. It took them fucking half or quarter of a century.
Okay, no, the 3 Crash games on PlayStation are very good. Anyway, hey, real quick before we get to this Nintendo stuff, what the hell is up with this EA thing? You see this that they're porting Jedi Survivor now to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One? What? Those games don't run very well on the new systems, Jeff. What the hell are they talking about?
I just like if I was in if I still felt good about using the X app, I would be like, I would have tweeted about this already. But it's like, yeah, you're what? No, fucking stop. Like, just there's no way. I get that someone like at EA was like, we should put it on these systems, we'd sell more. And then someone had to say yes to that. But no, stop what you're doing. That is insane. These games,
Dodo Bird wacky. Like,
yes.
How the hell are you going to suddenly get that running on a base Xbox One?
Not well. I can tell you that right now. Not well at all.
What a waste of waste resources. There are so many better things you could be doing.
Like getting the game running well on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. Like, yeah,
right?
and PC for fuck's sake. Yeah, I don't get it.
It's actually upsetting. Like, you're right. Somebody literally had like a chart and was like, look, there are these many Xbox Ones and PlayStation 4s out in the world, and we're leaving that money off the table. No, you're not.
What it is. No, yeah. I mean, you're leaving some money on the table. Like, it's unfortunate that like that's how it is, but it's like, but just accept it. Make the game as good as possible on the systems that it barely runs on now, so that it can sell through the end of the generation. And just give it so much love, give it some updates, free updates, and that's where the effort should be going. This is just it's Star Wars. It's a broad, appealing IP.
Let me tie into
please
this, actually.
stop.
I just thought of this. Here we go. Here's how I'm going to maybe make some sense of this and tie it in. Is it possible if Switch 2 specs are pretty similar to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and if people have those dev kits, and if people are maybe going to try to make some newer games run on Switch 2 anyways, that you just may as well also release them on Xbox One and PlayStation 4?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, it still is like a lot of extra work because they're not that similar. But yeah, if you are like doing the optimization work to get it running on one of them, I guess it's worth to do it, at least for now, to do it on all of them. Yeah, maybe. I could see a lot of games like that, especially Star Wars, like trying to get a Switch 2 version up and running by the end of next year. Like, yeah, that seems plausible. And so if that's what's happening here, then I guess.
All right. Let's get into it because, yeah, this is kind of the talk going on. We finally have some things happening in the Nintendo world aside from just Pikmin 4 coming out. Because VGC did a report saying that Switch 2 is coming in the second half of 2023, according to sources. Some of the early details, no OLED to save cost because, it's going to have beefier hardware. Bummer, not shocking. I wrote here it's going to have a cartridge card slot, and I was just quoting this story, but somebody scratched out cartridge, just card slot, and then it will be a portable system with docking.
Yes,
like the Switch. Jeff, have you been hearing anything else about this? I know you were gone. What do you think of this? What's going on?
Yeah, real quick. Yes, you did say 2023. That's what's written here. He meant 2024.
I wrote wrong things all over the place. Excuse me, everybody. 2024. Thank you. I've been doing a lot of wrong dates. I said wrong years all over the place on my Disney podcast yesterday. Maybe I'm having some kind of date dyslexia or something.
Yeah, maybe it's happening to you.
Gonna have to work on that.
This... It sounds just right in terms of circumstantial evidence, in terms of the stuff that we've heard, the things that we've talked about over and over and over again when we try to like game it out in our brains or whatever, or on this podcast. The end of 2024 always seemed like if we were going to do a bell curve of the most likely dates, and I just went to the Chicago Science and Museum of Science and Industry, and they had a lot of bell curve stuff there. But if we did a bell curve, it's like we would put most of the marbles in the Q4 of next year. That's where I would put most of Like if I would like spread my money around, that's where most of it would go. Some of it would go a little bit earlier. Some of it would go a little bit later. Maybe some of it would even go very early in 2024, but not much. Most of it's going second half 2024 for sure. That sounds right. And so if that's the case, then we are at a point where those dev kits should be out there. And that's, that's what it sounds like. Now we know this story is VGC. This is
Andy Robinson specifically.
Andy Robinson. And we know he was just traveling in Japan and probably bumped into some people, probably had some conversations. So I totally believe that he's done the legwork here to get accurate information, and that sounds right. Now,
and I believe Eurogamer also did a story saying they heard similar things. I had a beer with Andy at Moe's Tavern, so I know I can trust that.
Exactly, you can trust anybody in Moe's Tavern. But I mean, is there anything else like really to say other than this makes sense, Mike?
Yeah, it just absolutely, because we are at a point where early 2024 actually almost does seem too early somehow. Like there's got to be a bit more of a build up than that. And we know there's some other games coming. There's that Princess Peach game Luigi's Mansion 1 port. There should be some stuff. It'll be slower, but there will be stuff to kind of get them through to the launch of this. And there usually is a bit of a quiet period before the actual launch. It seems like things are lining up in terms of what can possibly be launch games, like a 3D Mario game, like a Metroid Prime 4 and some other things. So yeah, it has seemed like a while that holiday 2024 makes the most sense. And now to hear it sounding like that is the reality makes sense even more. And, our buddy Lex Luddy over at Start Menu also said that we're hearing that an announcement could come as early as Gamescom, which is later this month. It's worth pointing out we also have that kind of Nintendo event adjacent to PAX
happening right after that.
Right after that.
And that would be weird because that's like, if they do, so if they show it off in any form, like just a JPEG, just a name, just mentioning this, and then they're going to have an event in early September, like that's not going to be there. Like the system's not going to be there, right? I mean, could it? I guess it could be. But then, like,
they could have some. It would be pretty.
I guess
weird,
they could have hardware in a display case like that. I could see
a display case, and they could play a trailer for Mario Odyssey 2 or whatever it's going to be. Maybe.
Okay. I guess I could see that. It's still weird because it's like this big thing, and they're like all the questions they're going to be about this thing, and of course they're seasoned at saying we're not talking about that yet, but still, like they're going to have to say that a lot.
Right. Absolutely. So we'll see. We could be hearing about this soon.
I said this in the Bombcast. That does line up with what I've heard pretty much all year, that there would be some sort of announcement this second half into summer, basically, is what I've heard all year. It's hard to, know for sure, like what's accurate there. But I'll just say again, I've heard that all year. So if that's the case, I won't be too surprised. It will still be pretty cool to see, though.
It sure is interesting, Jeff, that we're actually getting there, huh? I mean, At this point, the Switch has been part of like this industry for the majority of the time we've been doing this job, right? At least, right. Most of that. I mean, granted, I started even before the Wii U came out, but that was such a that had a short life cycle. Switch basically twice as long.
Yeah, so. It's like funny, like because it's like the Wii U came out, and that's really when I was getting started. I started before the Wii U as well, but it's like. That's when I was getting started. And I had like went out and bought my own Wii U and stuff like that. And then of course Switch comes out, and I've been doing it long enough that Nintendo sent me a Switch, and then we pissed off Nintendo. Now they don't send me anything.
We went through the whole rigmarole with Nintendo. Yeah. Maybe we should try. Could we like send them like flowers or something?
No, I don't think anything's fixing this, Mike, ever.
Wow, that's so weird to me.
Yep.
People are weird.
We gotta wait until there's a new CEO or something like that, like what happened between Square Enix and Microsoft or whatever when Phil Spencer came out with the new CEO. We gotta wait for that.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. So yeah, Switch 2 stuff probably happening soon. Speaking about future Nintendo stuff, Masahiro Sakurai released a video about Smash Brothers on his independent.
They're not gonna make another one of those.
He was sort of talking about how he's semi-retired, burnt out with the series, blah blah blah, and also saying how he doesn't see how the series can continue without him. Also says in this video he understands that with or without him there will be another Smash Brothers. It is obviously too big of a franchise. It always fits so nicely with these consoles too, as a sort of second year game or third year game, and it's always a very big deal. So a lot of people are speculating what is the future of Smash Brothers. The nice thing for Nintendo here is that people basically do just want Smash Brothers Ultimate Deluxe, but on Switch, everybody did just want and expected Super Smash Brothers for Wii U Deluxe, and we didn't get that. Ultimate is much more of its own thing,
Right.
obviously based off that,
Right.
but
builds way more on top of that. Yes.
builds way more top of that than a deluxe would. Absolutely. So it is interesting what is going to happen here. I would expect almost, I don't think they call it a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe. I think it will be a Super Smash Brothers whatever. But I think it's going to be more built on Ultimate, more built on its predecessor than any other Smash Bros. Because why not? Ultimate basically got it right in terms of how the game feels. It has this gigantic cast of characters, and if you start out from scratch again, you're not going to be able to have all of those characters from the beginning. It's rough to go from everybody's here back to only some people are here.
I mean, I think they do that, but I don't think they do that for the next one. I think that happens eventually, someday. Right. I think you're right that they can get away with doing another one built on top of 4/Ultimate. Again, building more on top of that, maybe even less, like that, like you said, like there's a big gap between 4 and Ultimate, but Ultimate Deluxe. And if they can get away with that, they're probably going to do that, because look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, but the difference is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which sold pretty well on the Wii U, the Smash Brothers Ultimate has done those numbers. So it's like, I could see them like maybe talking themselves into actually in some ways to sell those kinds of numbers again. It's easier if we do something new, but I don't think that's the case. That audience will show up if there is a new hat, right? That's the new, this Malibu Stacy thing. And
it's going to be a $70 game, almost certainly. So there's going to have to be a beefy amount of things added, but you add like a bunch of new characters, new stages, stuff like you normally expect. Actually have a good online mode. That might be wacky. Let's try that. Yeah. Bring back a single player mode like the Subspace Emissary from Brawl, which is still everybody's favorite. You could do a lot to get people excited, even if it is a just quote unquote enhanced port.
Yeah, and I could see that happening. You said second year for a Switch 2, kind of in that makes me wonder, like what do you think the first year or so looks like for this new Switch? Metroid Prime 4, we are still waiting for. If Switch 2 comes out the end of next year, is that when Metroid Prime 4 comes, or does that come before that?
I know before you thought maybe Metroid Prime 4 would be a late Switch game or a cross-gen thing. I think that is just straight up a Switch 2 game at this point.
I still think it's a cross-gen game. Yeah,
we'll see. If it is, I'll owe you a Coke. And then the 3D Mario game, whatever that team's doing, if it's that Donkey Kong thing, at this point, come on, it has to be obvious that is a launch game, right? It's been so long since Odyssey. We had the new Zelda come out in that time. I think they've been obviously working on that, probably taking a lot of time to refine it, because they know that is going to be a launch game. You want either a Zelda or a Mario at launch. Can't be a 2D Mario. That one's coming out soon. Can't be Zelda. That just came out. It has to be 3D Mario.
So I could see, 3D Mario, Metroid,
maybe that F-Zero GX remake.
Yeah, F-Zero GX. Obviously updated versions of Zelda. Maybe like a 2D Zelda or like a top-down Zelda from Grezzo or something
2.
like that. Arms 2. Mario Kart 9.
Yeah.
Or 10, excuse me, because 9 is the fucking mobile game. Mario Kart X. Yeah, there we go.
Mario Kart Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if that's what they have, that's way more than enough. That's huge. If they have like 3 of those, I think that's also pretty good. I also expect like Ubisoft to show up, because they always do for new systems. We said earlier, we talked about Star Wars, and people are like, EA doesn't put games out on the Switch. I bet they're there for the Switch 2, at least in that first year, because there's always some value in supporting those things early.
Right.
And now it's like much easier to have faith in Nintendo. Maybe that doesn't have long-term implications, but we'll see. I don't know. I think it could be a pretty strong launch for a follow-up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think things will align there. There are still supports we can do, like Laker and Twilight Princess. There's plenty of things they can do to get that thing going strong, and hopefully have all the features we expect, like backwards compatibility, like the extension of services like the Nintendo Switch Online games. Like that better just be what is on the Switch 2. It better not be like, we're starting over again. Here's 5 NES games.
Right.
No, my God, absolutely not. All right. next up here, Metroid Dread has now sold over 3 million copies, according to developer Mercury Steam. This would make it the best-selling game in the franchise. If this is true, in a recent interview with Game Reactor, Mercury Steam co-founder Enrique Alvarez said, "I don't think the development was chaotic." This is referencing some reports about maybe crunch and some other bad habits at the studio. He continues, "A chaotic development does not end with one of the best games in the franchise. It doesn't end with a game that has sold more than 3 million copies. It doesn't end with a game that has won the Game Awards. That's all I have to say about it." Jeff, what the hell is he talking about?
I don't know. In the movie The Abyss, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, Ed Harris almost died, came out of the pool, and punched the fuck out of James Cameron. I would call that chaotic. That movie's still very good. One has nothing to do with the other. Right. You can have non-chaotic, very good games. You can have chaotic, very good games. It's just both can be true.
What is it specifically about Metroidvania games, like the modern Metroidvania games that are 2D, that seem to have the people in charge of them be a bit of asshats? God. This definitely makes me think of much more. Oh yeah, development of that must have sucked. Yeah. Must be terrible there. Almost certainly.
Yeah, don't protest too much and all that for sure.
One of those results-oriented people. Great.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could just hope that what's your fucking game? Spoon Heaven. No, I know that's what Ori is what you're referencing. What's the one you're waiting for?
What, Hollow Knight?
Hollow Knight, yes, exactly.
Spoon Heaven.
What's the subtitle for the next one? Silk Song. I was close. There's
an S.
Oh, yeah, it's a letter. It's 1 out of 26. That's like there's 26 letters in the alphabet. I got one of them.
That's like the time my friend's mom called Overwatch Space Grumpers. That's the same
That's pretty good.
level.
That's pretty good.
Space Grumpers. Spoon Man.
Spoon Heaven.
Okay, anyways, what about Spoon Heaven?
Yes. Basically, let's hope that the people in charge of that game aren't assholes. Because Ori, we'll see.
Maybe it's taking so long to make it. But hey, we like Metroid Dread a lot. I know, me and you got really over carried away thinking it could sell 5 million copies. Maybe that was a bit much, but
but it's like, then we watch fucking Pikmin 4 basically do what I thought Metroid. I mean, Pikmin 4 Unreal Engine looks like a modern 3D game. It's not the same thing. Charging $60 for a 2D game, it was always going to be more difficult, but I just thought maybe.
But 3 million copies. For Switch exclusive, still very good. We sometimes get distracted because there are so many Switch games that sell over 10 million copies, and it's incredible.
Exactly.
Right? And
yes, they've got
to me,
a ton.
To me, it's Metroid is better than most of them, so it should sell more.
Super Mario Party, go to hell. Of course, Metroid Dread should be better than that.
But it doesn't really work like that. But this is encouraging. Hopefully, year 3, year 4, we do get a Metroid 6. For the Switch 2. I would be very excited about that.
Fantastic. That's I know Nintendo's got the one per system for a lot of their franchises. The 2D Metroid games, they should just get them out as soon as they're ready. You could put 3 of those on a system, even to this. I think that would be totally fine.
You want that old Castlevania, Metroidvania out
every year?
Yep.
Every year I get a new one. That ruled.
Yeah, those are good times. All right. One last thing here. The Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope DLC 3 is releasing on August 30th. This is the Rayman one. Rayman in the Phantom Show. So this is neat. This is with Rayman as a playable character. Now, he doesn't get to play with Mario. For some reason, Rayman's just with the Rabbids. So you have Rabbid Mario and whatnot. But still, nice to see Rayman in a new game, technically, here. But
do we know what the Phantom Show is? What is the Phantom Show? Because that makes it sound like when he's done here, he's going to go back to the Phantom Show, and that's where they locked him away, and we're never going to see him again.
Mod hole.
Yeah, exactly. That's his mod hole. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to say it feels dead on arrival, but this wasn't. Sparks of Hope obviously kind of underperformed. This is the 3rd DLC thing for it, for a character who's not exactly having a big moment right now.
I mean, they could save a collection version, a Game of the Year edition for Switch 2 and put that out or whatever.
Sure.
And maybe that has some, maybe that moves the needle. I don't know.
Yeah. I do like Rayman. Hey, maybe Rayman for Smash Brothers is the next one.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Apparently Phantom is a character from the first Mario plus Rabbids game.
Okay.
Rudder. I don't remember that
No, me
because who
neither.
remembers the story from.
No, I
I
don't.
remember Bowser Jr. was there, and he kind of was worried about something maybe.
That doesn't sound like Bowser Jr.
Now, Jeff, that's it for our news. I think we've got some super chats. Would you please read them? To me?
Yeah, we got some super chats coming in. Thank you, everybody. We're also at about 81 likes, at least according to my counter. If you want to hit the like button, get us over 100. We always like to see that happen during the show. All right, let's start here with Ezekiel Buchetit, who sends in a super chat. Well, it looks like a sticker thing, like a shiny balloon. Thank you so much, Ezekiel. Appreciate that.
I think they later sent another one. They figured out how to attach a message to it. So
I
thank
see
you for
that.
both,
We'll get to that
Ezekiel.
here in a second. Big Jimbo Ryan says, you two are the average Arby's enjoyers, and me and Jez are the casual beans and toast fan. We are on a different level. Which PSIP would you two bring back? I would.
Jumping Flash.
Yeah, Mike said Jumping
Your
Flash.
favorite.
I always like Colony Wars or I don't know. There's a ton of really good PlayStation ones, but I'll say Colony Wars for now. Thank you, Big Jimbo Ryan. We always love to see you in the audience.
Okay.
T-Bucket23, have you dogs checked out Venba? It's a super short cooking narrative puzzle game about an Indian family moving to Canada, and it's out on Switch and Game Pass. I think it was GP must mean. I've not. I've heard great things. I want to check it out, and I will.
Is this a cozy game?
Yeah, Mike. It's about an Indian kid learning how to balance cultures between. Yeah, so it's kind of cozy.
Oh, that sounds too nice.
Yeah,
Where's the
yes, it's not hateful enough for Mike
possibly
Minotti.
yeah, clear. No, it looks cute. It looks cute.
Ezekiel's back. Let's try this again. What are your thoughts on credits rolling early? Pikmin 4 does it at like 2/3 mark. Dragon Quest is always early too.
Yes.
Okay. Explain the Dragon Quest context to me, Mike. What does that mean?
Well, basically, Dragon Quest 11 specifically. I don't want to. It's not really a spoiler, but there's credits sort of roll. And it seems like the game's end, and then if you continue, there's basically another 20, 30 hours of like an extra act, an essential act. So yeah, that's the context there. They're faking you out. It can be the ending if you wanted to. On the other end, it's like a Mario Odyssey where, hey, you got this many moons and it's done. After the credits roll, though, you can like unlock 3 more kingdoms and do all this other stuff, right?
Yeah, and it's one of versus CPU and saying like, oh, reviewers always say it's too short. Yeah, that's annoying. I would be annoyed by that too. One of versus CPU.
I mean, but I think we're kind of on the other side of that now. People want games to be shorter now.
Right. And I also think people make too big. I mean, this is me saying this, so, take it however you want. But people make too big of a deal about beating games, like especially like other people beating games, like this whole thing where it's
When
like,
are you beating Zelda, Jeff?
Yeah, exactly. Who or are you actually beating the games you're buying? This is why PlayStation's better than Xbox. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know. I have no idea what that means. And the credits is like they're made up. Like the people who made the game just decide to put them wherever they want to put them. Sometimes they don't even put them at the end of the game. There's just a menu you select. So it's like, is that the end?
Yeah.
What's the end? But my understanding of the way Pikmin 4 works, I think I like this. I don't want to spoil what happens after the credits. There's a lot after the credits, though. There's a substantial game after the credits. So I think it's like cool to like give people that off ramp. But when people then talk about their opinion and say, oh, there's only this much content, then yeah, I'm also frustrated a little bit. So I get that.
Sure. That's when it can get annoying.
I
got something else to say, which is why I drew that out.
Oh yeah, go ahead, please.
Oh, yeah, that's right. My gosh, back when I was playing NES games as a kid, even a bit in the Genesis Super Nintendo period, basically just during all that. When I was a kid, you didn't beat games. Like, nope. No one did.
No, yeah, exactly. Most of those games were just because a lot of them, would have like code systems for their saves, and it's like that's annoying.
Oh God, you know how many pieces of paper I had Mega Man with the freaking like.
Right, yeah, you were like, this time I'm gonna write them down, and I'll come back to it. And you're like,
right.
I'm just gonna start
restart.
over.
Like, whatever. I'll just play those 5 or like those 3-4 levels again. That's fun.
And it's like, and then you would get distracted, have to go do something, and the NES would get turned off, and you would start, and it wasn't a big deal. Like that was absolutely the world I grew up in. So maybe that like formed it for me. But Yeah, I'm gonna get to this next one from Shigeru Miyamoto. Also, love when you show up, Shiggy. They close the doors shut. They close the doors shut on me when there's Switch 2 meetings, but I have so many cool ideas. Maybe a second screen again, or maybe a nice handle. And then I'm just imagining him doing the eyebrows thing.
Like the N64 dick, like that kind of a handle.
I thought you meant like the GameCube, but I like your idea better. Why are you muted? What's happening here?
I think I actually bumped my mute button somehow.
Oh yeah, when you were fondling the N64 dick.
Yeah, I must have accidentally smashed it. Sorry, but yeah, we can get Paris Hilton and we can have her hold the handle on the Switch 2 again.
Okay, wonderful.
That'd be fun.
That's what I
What's
need
she
to
up
see.
to?
I believe that she is going around doing talk shows and showing that she's actually always been way smarter than people than she thought. She like put on a character the entire time. It's
didn't
like,
she? Yeah, but didn't she do that and like try to give like Jimmy Fallon an NFT the one time also?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that sounds right too.
And he got it. He has his own ape.
Yeah, right. He does have his own ape.
Fantastic. I'm sure that's really appreciating in value.
Willow Davis, it's my 30th birthday. Happy birthday, Willow Davis.
Happy birthday. Let's see if I can get this on here. Let's see.
Now making my fiance watch my new favorite show, Last of the Nintendogs. Shout out to Jamie for giving me a great B-Day. Hey, good job, Jamie, showing Willow Davis a happy birthday. Thanks for watching, by the way. I hope you have a really good one.
Did you hear that at all?
Oh, I heard it. Everyone heard it. It was beautiful.
Good.
Antonio Morales writes in and says, my dogs. Grubb, did you manage to get a gibberito while you were in Chicago? I did not. I did not get a gibberito. I am going to look that up because it sounds like a hate
Gibberito
term.
these nuts. It sounds like you're making something up.
Yes, it does. Let me see here. It sounds like actually one of those drinks, but it's not. It is. Ooh, holy oh, that's right. This is that plantain sandwich. I should have got one of these. I messed up so bad. They look so good. Next time. We're already
Did
talking
you go
about
to Giordano's?
Yeah, we did. That was always part of the plan.
I know, like the Chicago people are like, "Where's your train?"
Yeah, no, totally. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm also a tourist. What do you want?
Yeah.
Like,
and also, it's amazing, and I love it. So what are you gonna do?
I mean,
get mad.
That's all. Like people that like live in places don't do the touristy things, and then they like leave and are like, shit, I wish I would have done some of that. Like being a tourist, do the touristy stuff. It's fun.
I remember I went to San Francisco and like I went to like the wharf and someone's like, well, that's for tourists. I was like, bitch, what do you think I am?
I don't live here. Like, yeah.
Like, I don't want to go to the bodega or like the record store next to your house. Like, I don't care about
Not
that.
here for your culture. Give me the shit I see on TV.
Right, exactly.
That plantain sandwich looks fantastic, though. I'm gonna see if I can find one around here because I don't know if I can wait. AMPM video. Have you seen the new Grezzo Apple Arcade game? No, I have not. Let's see here.
Oh,
Grezzo,
right.
Apple.
Is this what they're doing instead of making a new Zelda game?
Yeah, probably. Jet Dragon. Is this what this is? I'll have to check that out.
Spoonhaven.
I'm going to. Yeah,
Spoonhaven.
New Spoonhaven game. Yeah, I am planning to get an Apple TV, and I'm gonna start checking out some of these Apple.
Yeah, Apple Arcade popping off again next to Hello Kitty, huh?
Everyone's getting on board for Hello Kitty. I don't want to miss out on the action. Slippery Moose Cakes. How do you feel about Phil Harrison debuting the Switch 2 at Gamescom with a Kojima exclusive? Yes or yes? Is that a good idea or the greatest idea, Mike?
Phil Harrison's done, right? Like half of it, right? Because he was.
We've said this before. I feel like
he was Ouya, right?
Yeah. Was he Ouya?
No, wait. What was he?
He was
Ouya. Oh, Stadia. I meant Stadia. I got those mixed up.
Oh, sure.
He was Stadia.
I mean, that's fair.
So come on.
Yeah, but what else? He was like a whole bunch of stuff before, and it's always like the kiss of death. Phil Harrison. That would be upsetting if I saw Phil Harrison at a Nintendo Direct. I would not like that. No. Zach Burhans says, we all know the new Switch will take heavy advantage of DLSS. What are the chances that the next Switch will have ray tracing cores? I think that it's possible. I don't know if they will all actually be used for ray tracing. I think those cores can be used for a handful of other things. But I don't know. It's possible, but I'm not counting on it. I know the DLSS deep learning cores, which I can't remember the name of right now, tensor cores. The tensor cores, they might keep, they'll probably just fill it with those. And then why take up space with ray tracing cores, something that just makes no sense at all on the Switch. But we'll see. Wavy Crockett, are we getting a Pokemon Presents next week? Seems to be.
Yeah. Wavy Crockett, king of the wavy frontier.
That's that's the rumor. There was code in one of those Pokemon Masters EX games for mobile saying there's going to be an event for the Pokemon Presents on August 8th. So yeah, that also feels right timing wise because the DLC is coming out. They're going to do a Presents before that.
We have that. We have Detective Pikachu 2, and there's like at least one game they can announce. I don't think we're not getting the next mainline game, but Black and White remakes, another Let's Go, maybe one of those. It's time to start talking about that. Tease it as either a late Switch game, maybe Switch 2 Pokemon game. That's when we got the Let's Go's. That was kind of an early Switch joint, actually, huh? So maybe this is where we get our Johto Let's Go.
Yep, yes, possibly. I'm sorry, I'm like looking at this Jet Dragon flies onto Apple Arcade, and then the CNET article, which the CNET didn't they have a whole bunch of AI written stuff. The like tagline here on the story is "You race and train dragons. Need I say more?" And it just sounds so AI to me that I'm like, yeah,
you should
you
say more.
Say more.
What the hell are you talking about? The video game, of course, you do something you wouldn't do in real life. Like, yeah, wow,
yeah.
Can you
like
you
this
have
is
a
table
sword and
stakes.
use magic? Can you guys say more? Yeah,
Yeah, I have a lot of questions.
What are you talking about?
All right, let's see here. El Grug, you get Dan Reichert the worst Sonic-related costume on Etsy yet? He hasn't suffered enough on Blight Club.
We said no Etsy. He wants official merchandise.
He says a lot of things. Why does he get to make the demands?
Well, because he's the one who's the most likely to refuse to do a thing. We don't acquiesce to
right, we
them.
have to deal with this baby.
Right. We found something for him. He also does have a pretty bad,
he's got a bad
Sonic Halloween costume. But we found maybe something we can get him.
Okay,
we'll see.
Have we bought it yet?
Have about 2. You probably have like 2 episodes, maybe 3 of Bat Grubb left. So we're gonna have to start thinking about that silver campaign. But also Dan is at some point going to have to actually move into his new house. So we do have to kind of work around that a little bit. So there might be a couple like episodes where we have to do Be Light Club or something.
Yep. We'll figure it out. We'll see. There's some fun stuff we could do with that. Aramus says, love the show. Sorry for the confusion, Mike. I was just saying I like the OG Sonic plush. My best friend had one, and we would make plush movies with it and other various VG plushes in photo booth on his Mac. So I think was this in reference to the TT thing?
Is this what that is? Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. I got confused about. Sorry, but yeah, thank you so much. I love my Sonic plush over there. That I got it at our Best Buy when it opened in like '94 or whenever our Best Buy opened here. They had a bunch of these Sonic plushes. That was back still, even though like video games were obviously popular. Video game merch was still pretty rare. You would never really see that. And I like Sonic a lot. So yeah, I've had this Sonic plush for a good long while. He's been my buddy.
I got a Tales from Circuit City. That's a lot.
Very cool, man. Circuit City was people get mad when I say this. Circuit City was a vibe.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite place to I wouldn't buy many things there, but I kind of liked how dark it was.
Dingy. Yeah. 90s dingy was weird.
I don't even know if it was dingy, but it was
just
definitely
the lighting
dark.
Was, yeah.
Yeah.
The lighting fixtures were tinted from age, is what it felt like. That's what it was.
I remember ours would not sell Nintendo 64 games for some reason, but sold PlayStation games. And the one game I think we got there was not Final Fight, but that PlayStation game that's basically Final Fight. Like it was supposed to be a 3D Final Fight, and they changed it to something Fight Force or something like that.
Oh.
I gotta look this shit up. All
right. Let's see here. Thank you, Aramus for that.
Not Final Fight. It was supposed to be a Streets of Rage, I think. Yeah.
Oh, weird. Mario writes in, I apologize for my dad's lewd commentary. Thank you, Mario. We appreciate that. He's here every week. You got to do something.
It is Fighting Force, by the way.
Okay, Fighting Force.
You won versus CPU. Not that great a game, but existed.
Jeremy G says, I just gibberitoed in my pants. Or I just gibberitoed my pants.
You're probably going to want to clean this.
Yeah, listen, laundry service, get some help there. Thank you, everybody, for the Super Chats. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in. That does it for the Super Chats for now. If we get any more, we will get to all of them before the end of the show. So keep watching.
I have a real-time Super Chat here from my mind.
Oh, no.
Mike.
I'm going to dock your pay, just so you know, but go ahead.
Oh, shit. Mike, you think we're gonna with the new Switch? You think we're gonna get Final Fantasy 14 on that? Because now that it's on Xbox now, so he's free from the Sony.
Yeah, the confines, the unfriendly confines. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a game that ran on PlayStation 3 originally. You know,
Yes, I was about to say that too. It totally runs in PlayStation 3. Why can't it run in the Switch?
I don't know if it works, and I think they turned off the PlayStation 3 version. So like the new expansions are doing things you couldn't do on a base PlayStation 3 anymore. But hey, maybe. Why not? That would be pretty interesting.
Okay, well then how about GTA Online? That was on the PS4.
Well, why not? There's a lot of. I wonder.
It was on PS3,
I really do wonder how
right?
much.
Fuck, Jesus Christ.
Right. I do wonder how much people like in these companies are thinking about how much of their back catalog, how much of their older games from like the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 era, or maybe even before, do they want to get on Switch too now? Like, because we had some on Switch, and some of them did pretty well, like Skyrim on Switch. Things like that. I wonder if we're going to see a lot more of these kind of ports. I wouldn't be too upset about it.
This Jet Dragon game looks so much like a Fire Emblem ripoff, but you race dragons, so need I say more? All right, Mike. Anything else, or should we take a break?
Let's take a break. That's a very short Hamilton reference with 3 notes, and no one could probably pick up on it.
I picked up on it. That's why I laughed. But I was like, all right, let's actually just go to the break.
I love it. All right, beautiful.
We are on break.
No one has your opinion.
We are on break. Yeah, don't worry about the pause.
All right. I am good to get back into it if you are, Mike. Fire Emblem Cross Wave Race. All right, now you're speaking my language.
Now you're doing the Vince McMahon thing. Let me open up the thing here.
It's some podcast stuff.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem has dragons too, Jeff. It's like very big on dragons. Like that's the whole thing. Other than the emblems of fire.
I also have dragons.
Huh? What?
Final Fantasy 14.
I doubt it.
I'm sorry. I have
Hamilton and Annette are the same thing, says Enemy Mouse.
No, you wash your fucking mouth.
the hell up.
Like I don't even give a fuck about Hamilton, but that's just disrespectful.
How dare you?
Ooh, waifu race. That's actually a good one. All right,
I'm ready.
Right, but yeah, we'll pause here.
And we're back. Jeff, I asked the community, what do they want in the next Smash Brothers? How about you, Jeff? What do you want in the next? What would excite you? Somebody who's not the biggest Smash player.
I think a sparkly new art style that takes I like the combination of all the different things, but I think if they added a lot of effects on top similar to what Street Fighter 6 does, or even to go so far as like an Arc System Works game, and they won't, but if they did, I'd be like, oh man, that looks so cool, I want to be a part of this. But I think the biggest thing, a Subspace Emissary, a single player thing that's like maybe fun to replay. I would be into that.
Yeah, I think that would be fun, especially if they had there's a lot of high quality just like cinematics they made for Subspace Emissary, and that's a big part of the fun of it. You get to do wacky things like fight a Rayquaza as as a fox and things like that, or Ness, whatever it was. And just the kind of character combinations they did in that, like the people hanging out with each other were sort of unexpected pairings. So yeah, that mode was actually a lot of fun. It's probably the one reason I would ever go back to Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah,
Brawl.
Yeah. Missing the tripping.
God damn it. There's not, it's pretty basic for me. I want new characters. There's a couple, especially now with Gino coming back in this remake. I'm like, it's a kind of now or never with Gino. So I hope we get my boy Gino in there. There's a couple other ones that just haven't made it somehow yet, like a Waluigi. It's kind of weird Toad hasn't been in there, or a Captain Toad. Maybe even some more of these surprise guest characters, even the wacky ones that people almost suggest as jokes, like Goku. Well, why not? Why not get a Goku in there? I bet they can make that happen. So just, more characters. Better online, those are the big thing. I'm going to have one thing. If I could have the experience of playing Street Fighter 6 with it working so well, if I could do that with Smash Brothers, that'd be amazing. I just can't.
Rollback netcode. Let's go.
Splatoon 2 got pretty solid online, and then Splatoon 3 comes out, and it's kind of questionable in comparison. And it's like, man, what is going on? Like, can't they just get this right and keep it right? So
yeah,
they can get it right. But the question of will that happen in the game that you want it to happen in? Who knows?
All right, let's see what the community had to say about this. Cranjus McBasketball said, just put Dante in the game already. Are there any characters that are in both PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale and Super Smash Brothers? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I wonder if that's something they actually would worry about. Like, we can't do this character. They've already been in.
I bet it sounds like something that Sakurai would be conscious of, specifically.
We work close because there's, I think, Heihachi and PlayStation All Stars, and then Jin. And
That's
Jin,
basically the
other
same
one,
thing.
a different Tekken character.
Oh,
Right.
Don't say that out loud ever again.
What did I say? Another one?
He's yelling at me for saying
What'd
that
you
they're
say?
I said they're basically the same
Basically,
thing.
Right. But there's 2 Tekken characters, and they're like the father and son. So there's Kazuya. Thank you, everybody. Kazuya's in Smash. Heihachi is in PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, and then Jin is just the youngest one, right? Okay. So there's that. Dante. What is it with me? Why don't I like Devil May Cry more? I like character action games. I like Capcom. Why is it that I see Dante and even I'm kind of like, I just don't get it. I kind of don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you because I also don't get it. I'm much more a Nero guy. You know me.
Yeah. Of course. I remember I went to like the Devil May Cry 5 post-mortem or whatever developer talk at a GDC. And the guy like spent like 20 minutes explaining the end of that game and how like it seems so impactful to me. I saw this anime as a kid where this one character got a new form and powered up, and like that's all that happens is like the character gets a new form, powers up, and he explains like how could he possibly have thought of this? Okay, very nice.
Well, I can give you a couple of reasons how he thought of that, but fair enough. Okay.
Low Rule says, I'm not kidding with this, and it may be blasphemy, but I would love a 3D platform fighter, an over-the-shoulder Budokai Tenkaichi style fighter, both Smash characters and fighting styles. I'll say this, Jeff. That's one way you can get away with making the roster smaller again.
Is if you do make a game that no one wants. Yeah.
If you make Power Stone Smash Brothers, I mean, yeah, it is. Like I would kind of like to see it if it was a and situation, not
right?
An or. Like
I agree.
Make the 2D one. Maybe just make it basically be Ultimate. If you want to try like a 3D version of that, sure. I think people would not understand that, though. People would freak out if they made a 3D Smash Bros. People would be very upset.
Well, because it just wouldn't be it's not the same. Like, does anyone like any of those? Other than Power Stone, which has the nostalgia factor.
People like Budokai Tenkaichi. People like those Naruto Ninja Storm games, right?
Okay. Yeah. I just have to take your word for it.
Yeah, people like those. Sorry, let me interject. I know a lot about this shit. Yeah,
okay.
The thing is, like, there's so many of them. It's kind of tiresome already. Like, it's the same game over and over again. Like, it's the same mechanics and the same, like, the roster gets bigger and bigger, but it's just the same game. So it's like kind of.
I mean, Jump Force was nominated for Fighting Game of the Year, so.
Fuck you.
Apparently, I said Naruto. It's not Naruto. Excuse me, everybody.
Naruto sounds
very
like a
sorry.
So,
Make a Virtual On clones. Bring back Virtual On. Get the dual joysticks. Benji says, make it a fighting game. Okay, troll. And then Casual says, I want the Capsule Machine 3D trophy models from Melee back. Yeah, I miss those. Those were so much better than the stickers or whatever you get in Ultimate, which, like, there's a lot of them, but it's just a JPEG. It's usually just, we took this picture, like, from, like, the game's official art or whatever. Whereas in Melee, we got these awesome 3D models for a lot of characters. It's the first time we ever saw 3D representations of them. You can spin them around. It would give you some info about that character or the console or whatever you're looking at. The trophies were really cool. I miss them. Jackie G says tripping, and then it's the U and the Sting face, although it always reads as Darth Maul to me. How dare you? Gerbear says, every time someone tries to play any sort of multiplayer mode, there should be an unskippable video of Sakurai admonishing the player for the many failings of the Smash community and a message to do better, you disgusting animals, and better netcode, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds very good to me. I like that.
It will be so upsetting if, like, the next Smash comes out and the online still plays the way Smash Online always has. That'd be so terrible.
Has Sakurai ever talked about the netcode or online play in any of his like videos? That doesn't seem like something he prioritizes.
I don't think so. I think you're right.
He's making a party game.
I bet he's somebody who probably like thinks like online. Well, you're not sitting next to a person. That's like inhuman.
I mean that like when that game came out, like Nintendo was very much in the all these games are party games. These are for people like sitting together on couches. Like we're making party games.
There was like that early resentment about Melee being taken seriously, to put it, and for lack of a better word. I mean, that's why tripping happened.
Yes.
It was resentment over people playing
Over
Melee
the
like a
fucking
serious fighting
lunatics.
game.
Yeah.
The Pikmin Wolf 5 says, I want old characters to have updated movesets. Let Mario use Cappy with his special moves. Make Ganondorf less of a clone and more of his own character. Have Luigi use more moves from Luigi's Mansion. Also bring back boss rush mode. Yeah, I think there are some characters you can sort of adjust things. Like, there are a lot of characters that basically have a variation of a like deflector move. Like, so Mario, for instance, his side special attack, he just kind of whips out his cape from Mario World, and it reflects. And like, well, it's nice to see that cape. That's not what it has ever done in any other video game. So make the side B have Cappy do something. That would be better for sure. There's a lot of characters you can do that.
Like
Give
the spin jump, you kind of have some iframes on certain stuff. Not iframes, but you're invulnerable to certain jumping things. I could see how they came to that conclusion, but you're right. That's not really what it does.
Right, exactly. Chaos Buckaroo says, I mainly want lots of brand new stages. Imagine a Dread stage or the Depths. Give us even more music. I mean, Smash Bros. Games have always had really good music. I'm sure that'll continue. Ooh, a Dread stage would be cool. I actually really want. Is it Razorbeak? It's been a little bit now. The bad guy from Dread as a boss would be awesome.
Razorbeak sounds good.
He was a really cool character. I love the way he looked. He was a really fun final boss fight. I would be very excited if we got him. Screaming Madden says, Madden 2003 cover athlete Marshall Falk. He can do spin moves. Truck, stick, tech, and run over any Smash competitor. Oh, also, Bo Jackson from Tecmo Bowl could do all those things and more. Ravenbeak was the name. Thank you, Chad. Ravenbeak is that guy from
has there been a bigger sort of marketing of a game mechanic than the truck stick? I think about the truck stick from Madden every day. I think about it every day. I'm like, man, I'm playing a game. I'm like, I wish this had the truck stick. I like find myself hitting the right stick forward, trying to run someone over. Man, they should make a new Madden just based on the truck stick. All right, sorry.
There you go. Mr. Bohr says, and if like you said, start. You're allowed to talk about things you want to.
Just like I'm going to go by side tangent. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Screaming Man, that's bad. Mr. Bohr says an official OST with all the songs in the game that doesn't get DMCA'd on YouTube. Yeah, I was excited. Just today, I found on Spotify somebody did a cover of Life, like the song from the last game, and it's basically a perfect cover. It sounds just like it. The voice sounds the same. So I have that at least. But gosh,
I put all the music on my my Plex server so I could just listen to it wherever. That's how I solve this.
They did that Smash Bros. Melee concert way back when, and then made a CD, and they put it on Famitsu. Later, they did it on Nintendo Power, but it was Famitsu at first. So my brothers, one of them, or maybe both of them, got me that Famitsu just so I could have that CD, and I listened to that thing all the time. Smash Brothers music is so good. Bench JC says, let me use my Switch as an iPhone once again for the music. Don't take that feature away. Wait, what's he talking about here?
Like they made a big deal about how like you could listen to the music with the screen turned off on the Switch. So you could treat your Switch like an iPhone or like an iPod. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yes, it's like they made a whole thing about that. I'm like,
sounds
okay,
stupid.
It's very stupid, and then you have to use an app to talk to people in your games.
Axel Auto Adams says, I want the Dojo website to come back and do daily updates like they did for Brawl. Checking it every morning before school. It's very exciting whenever a new character showed up unexpectedly. Yeah, like that Dojo was crazy because some days it'd be like, here's a snippet of a song, or here's a new item. And then others like, here's a new character, a Pokemon trainer. It's like, whoa, you're just dropping this like that. Okay, or Captain Olimar. Oh, so you'd have giant news like that. Although I am a big fan now because the announcements are so cool. We get these incredible trailers for each new character. Oh, yeah. It's so much fun.
That's amazing.
Sleeve McDykel says, take out no items mode, make it the party game for children it was always meant to be. All right, we'll have to ban Sleeve here later. Dr. Ryan says, character-wise, put Pius Augustus from Eternal Darkness in it. His final smash can use the sanity meter in the Elder Gods. That would be cool. I don't know if they ever will, just because
probably not.
It's too bad that Dennis Dyack has to be Dennis Dyack, and now there's baggage with Eternal Darkness, and it can't just be some old beloved game, right? There's a little bit more weirdness to it, because I still like that game. Pius Augustus was a pretty cool character, a pretty visually distinct character. It'd be fun to see them brought back.
That'd be cool.
Ryan says, game-wise, a return to a story-driven single-player. World of Light was just fights. I want a narrative that goes nuts like Subspace Emissary, but even bigger and more outlandish. Get some voice acting and writing in there. Imagine dialogue between Little Mac and Sephiroth where Pokemon trainer barges. And Dr. Ryan did not ask for any more questions about We Bought a Zoo, sadly, this
Okay,
time. But
well, we'll see. We'll see what happens next time.
Haas says, go big on a campaign mode, add in co-op, and make Kirby the final boss. Well, then how would you win?
Yeah, that's right. It can't be Kirby, not in a Smash game. I do like the idea of the campaign mode being more like a Mortal Kombat thing, where it's like the characters like to have their like elaborate introductions that are based on who they're facing off against and all that stuff. That could be cool.
You've been thinking about those Mortal Kombat games a lot lately. I know you kind of want to play through those campaigns.
That's the plan. Gonna do it.
All right.
Yep. Can't wait.
Oppenheimer says, who cares about Smash? Everyone watching on YouTube needs to smash that like button. Well, thank you, Oppenheimer.
Thanks, Bob.
Appreciate it. Yeah, Bink says, Ultimate is a high point for the Smash franchise already. So where do we go from here? There's only one option. The next Smash is finally when they add Goku.
Fuck yeah, let's fucking go. Which Goku, though? Because there are many of them up there.
Yeah,
we have it.
Yeah, you don't have to go through them. I know about Ultra Instinct and all this shit. Look, you just do
Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
Anyways, I was looking for where do I mute him? Doesn't matter if I mute him actually. Anyways, it'll be normal Goku in his orange gi, and he could turn Super Saiyan as a move. That'll be it. You don't need Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, whatever. Octo says, add that rabbit from the 3DS shop that sold games. You can sell items mid-match because items are what makes Smash Bros. a great kids party game. Also put Vegeta in the game. You people. You people. Beef Hammer says Captain Rainbow. There you go.
Yeah.
We should do like a cultural exchange. We should do Captain Rainbow and Mike from why am I brain farting? I thought Star Tropics.
Star Tropics? I was going to say Star Tropics?
I don't know. I was brain farting on Star Tropics. Yeah, there you go. 2 games didn't come out in
Mike,
your
I don't know if
territory.
I've ever actually even looked at Star Tropics. If you showed me a screenshot of that game, like based on context from you talking about how it's like this tropical setting, I would probably get it, but I don't think I would recognize it.
It kind of looks like NES Zelda.
Okay. All
basically. Right. You should try it sometime. That's a game that I loved as a kid, but basically never made it past like a few hours into the game, which is fair because I did finally beat the game using like save states and stuff. It's one of those games that gets NES hard at the end for no reason. It's kind of stupid, but I still like that game a lot. Villain Max says, with Street Fighter adopting modern controls, the next Smash should add classic controls with all the quarter circles, complexity, and elitism. That'd be incredible.
That'd be fun.
You had to start doing quarter circles in Smash Brothers, actually.
I would like that.
Eva Janice says, a soft reboot, more or less. Smaller roster is fine, like 30-ish. All unique characters, updated movesets for all. No Waluigi.
Still no Waluigi, yeah. That's the only way it can be a true reboot, is if they still keep that truth about Smash Brothers. No Waluigi.
Velocity Prime says, the overblown AMV nonsense of the Subspace Emissary is absolutely delightful, even if the mode itself is pretty thin. Honestly, just cram in some 90 cinematics and I'll be happy. Yeah, the mode we got in the last game, I think, could have been better if there's more cinematics. So you had that amazing one in the opening, right, with Kirby escaping. Then no more, until you got to the end, and it was a cinematic just with some swirling lights. It was a big letdown.
No, like the end of Mass Effect 3, yeah.
Pretty much. We didn't even get to pick the color of them.
Oh, no.
Dan Park says, can we just get the movie and movie tie-in game in about 10 years? Yeah, they'll do that, and then once that's done, the whole franchise will go in a downwards creative spiral because they're not sure what to do next. One Up versus CPU has some amazing Photoshop of the Smash Bros. Ultimate box art, says Deluxe on there, with a funky new mode.
Funky new mode with Funky peeking out of the corner.
I like it.
Here's my money.
House says, outside of Smash Ultimate Deluxe with 1 or 2 fighter passes / better online, standard quality of life stuff, I'd love bringing back character-specific break the target stages. These serve as the original tutorials by doing, not watching, and are much more interesting than the arbitrary single-player modes the last few entries have provided. Yeah, I like those specific.
I did like those too.
Yeah, those were a lot of fun, especially and when you play like arcade mode or whatever it's called in Ultimate. Everybody just has this one level where you kind of collect a bunch of orbs and break blocks, and it's the same for each character, and it's not very interesting. So yeah, bring back boards of platforms, bring back break the targets with the character-specific versions of them that make you use your movesets in interesting ways. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Laserwolf says, the removal of items, the game is much more fun without them. Here, I'm going to give that a 100% emoji.
Oh
There
my
you go.
God.
Thank you, Laser Wolf. Ray says Bub and Bob complete with an infinite grapple a la Ice Climbers wobbling. There we go. You can't see it right now, but I always have this Bubble Bobble box art poster right over there. That was actually one of my favorite NES games. I love my Bubble Bobble. Next one here is from Isaac Clark. It says, I just want all players to have fun. Well, that's impossible.
Oh,
Let's be
there it is.
realistic.
Yeah. Yep. That's you're wishing for the impossible. Like, it's never going to happen. Someone's always going to be miserable.
Jeremy Biff says, I want a return of Smash Tour from Wii U and Smash Run from 3DS. Okay. I haven't thought about those modes much. Smash Tour was kind of a board game, and Smash Run was all right. I remember liking Smash Run more than Smash Tour, to be honest. Bud Sack says, a return of the fun puzzle break the target mode, with challenges designed for each character. There's never a more fun way to learn a character's kit. Yep, agreed. Clink says, just release an HD remake of Brawl. I want to be able to play the best version again. All right, here's my Mike Arby's remote. Gotta click on that. Always Be Clothing says they need to keep bringing in Buck Wild guest characters. Get the Master Chief, get Nathan Drake, get The Witcher. They could. I mean, Master Chief, Nathan Drake, probably not happening. Who knows? They could get Geralt.
Yeah, they could.
Geralt's been in freaking Soul Calibur, right?
Yeah. So that means they can
That
get
could actually
Yoda.
happen.
Yeah, I think they could get I think they could probably even get Master Chief, but I don't know if they want Master Chief. I don't know.
Do you really think? I mean, you think Microsoft would play ball that much if there wasn't going to be a Smash Brothers for Xbox? Even I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I think that there's a world in which yes, but it's like the one in which Game Pass starts like popping up on Switch in some ways. So it's a world that could exist, but maybe not. I think Doom Guy continues to be the one that was like that could actually happen.
Yeah, Christian says 2B. That would not be shocking at all.
No,
actually. Although I wonder, like by the time it comes out, are we past 2B's moment? Is 2B ever going to be in a new video game again? I wonder about that, but that could still absolutely. If we got Bayonetta, we can get 2B. Chuck 1991 says, puts yourself back in 2002 when Soul Calibur 2 was released. We never had such a realistic Link before, and it blew my mind. Hear me out. Next Smash recreates that feeling with completely original and more realistic character models. I think a lot of people would take the trade of small roster if the game looks better than we could have imagined. Look how wild everyone went for Mario Wonder, finally giving us new character models. So you said something kind of similar. I don't really know if I need Smash Ultimate to look much better than it does. I think they have found something that can accommodate a lot of different character styles, even though like obviously there's a difference in how a Bayonetta and a Daisy looks. They somehow still kind of fit together there. There always has been a slightly more realistic bent to what they do in Smash Brothers, especially in Melee. Like that was like the one time Mario's
stitching on Mario's
denim.
Yes, on his denim.
That was
yes.
cool.
Yeah, that was
if they
great.
want to lead into that again a bit more, I wouldn't mind that. That's for sure.
I remember being at the video game store by my house when the Wii was coming out, and the Mario got announced, the Mario game, and the guy that worked there was talking to the girl that worked there about how he was pretty upset that like the game didn't have much more realistic visuals similar to what Mario looked like in Smash Brothers Melee. Like look at his fireball here, and look at the denim and stuff. And she started crying. She's like, I think it looks good, and I'll never forget because it was awkward. And I was at the store. I'm like, okay, I think it's okay. It's all right. Who knows? Maybe the next one will look that good. Who knows?
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Decaf says Super Smash Brothers. Oops, all waifus. Oh, like that SNK was that Gal Fighters or something that SNK did on Neo Geo Pocket Color? Sure.
Got that game. I forgot about that game.
Yeah, I didn't. DMC Depressed Me Crying says, I want Kirby to not be bottom tier like he has been since Melee. Why does Sakurai disrespect his own boy this badly? Has he really been bottom tier? I'm not sure. I haven't followed any tier lists in a while. I like playing as Kirby still, but I don't play against super strong people. So there you go. SNK Heroines? I remember it had gals in the title.
I don't think it
Neo Geo
did.
Pocket
That
Color.
threw me
That's
off.
a new game. Yeah, SNK Heroines came out like 3-4 years
Okay,
ago.
so it was gals
So-
something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the old.
it's
That's
all
the old
the
one.
SNK people.
SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy was the newer one.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as Lady was in it, or not Lady, King. Lady's DMC. Well, yeah. Okay, anyways. Like I talk about Lady being naked in DMC 5 again. G-Man Sir says, I want the third-party characters to actually have a history of Nintendo. I don't want random B-tier third-party characters that don't even have their own game on Nintendo systems. Smash started as a celebration of Nintendo, and it's now a celebration of Nintendo plus friends. No need to make the series a celebration of games plus a few Nintendo spotlights. It doesn't benefit Nintendo in the slightest to have, say, Dante or a PlayStation character. I think I generally agree with G-Man here. Even like I like Cloud and Sephiroth. They're fun in Smash Brothers. There's a bit, it's like these are such PlayStation boys to me. Like I don't mind them in here, but there's maybe, and I get it. I get why you have them instead of like a Final Fantasy VI character. Of course, I understand, but I do like it when it is like a Mega Man or Banjo-Kazooie, something that has a better tie to Nintendo.
Well, I mean, there's no better tie than Solid Snake from Twin Snakes. So
even that, but that was like the first one at least. But Metal Gear was an NES joint at least if you want to really. But you're right though. Solid Snake I associate with PlayStation more, obviously. Zipsa says, I mean, if we ignore the obvious, much needed additions to the roster like Tingo and Waluigi,
fucking A,
I would like a really good single player story mode. I won't buy the next installment if it doesn't have one. Young kids have killed multiplayer gaming for me. There you go. Have you played if you played competitive games with your kids, really, Jeff? Are they able to handle that?
No. I think that's actually what turned Emmy off. She says that I talk to other girls, they don't like gaming. I'm like, I don't believe that's what I think it's because she gets upset when she loses in Mario Kart. So yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like kids are they don't like to lose. And no one does. So yes, right. And kids kids have no filter for that.
Right. Like I remember, because my brother has a arcade one-up like versus Capcom thing. It's like playing with him. I let him win a bunch, and then finally I just kind of played a little bit more, and he lost. He didn't get upset, start crying.
Yep, I did the same thing with my nephew when it was Mortal Kombat versus DC or whatever.
DC,
yes,
yeah.
And we played, and I let him win a bunch, and then I won one game, and he cried. It's like,
and I was like, well, surely at this point, it's like, look, you might be like, look, come on, man, I've been doing this so much longer than you. Like, what do you like? Come on, you have to be okay with it. No, they don't understand.
They're not okay with anything. Yeah,
no. Tokyo Game Light says, I think Nintendo needs to establish a production pipeline that doesn't rely on Sakurai. I think he will be back for the next Smash game, but I can see the game after that having a different director. Sakurai has soft retired before to come back. I think. Maybe there should have already been this plan in place. I don't know why it didn't happen. Maybe it's just been too hectic. I don't know. There needs to be a conscious effort of thinking about life after Sakurai here for Smash. I mean,
they've done that with Miyamoto, so they need to do a Sakurai for this.
Right.
Series.
If we had a succession plan in place for Zelda, right? We got to figure something out.
We're on the third generation of successor there. Like it was Miyamoto, and then Eiji Aonuma, and now we got not Furukawa, but yes, Fujibayashi, something like that.
I'll let you struggle with that.
Thank you for but so yeah, they're already well past that. They've figured out that lineage. They have not done that with Smash.
Yeah, they need to. Big Tony says a new Subspace Emissary would be cool, but I'm okay with just the deluxe version with all the DLC and a physical version. Fish and Love says a better single-player offering. Word of Life was absolutely not it. Spirits were a neat idea to give more obscure games and characters some representation, but the implementation was bad. That's right, it was Spirits in Ultimate. Yeah, it just wasn't quite enough. Lenny Cool Dick Denver says, I'd like actual trophies back in Melee and Brawl. Back like in Melee and Brawl instead of the JPEGs again. And I want a controller adapter, but for the Wii U Pro controller. As you guys said, that was an S-tier controller when you did that controller tier list a while ago.
He's fucking with us because we definitely did that.
I don't. Yeah, that's the one with the right analog stick in the wrong place.
Yes, exactly. That's definitely that's no.
No, absolutely not. Rock Parte says Waluigi, just put him as a fighter at Smash. Do now. It'll be kind of messed up if Waluigi's not in, right?
Oh yeah. There's at that point it's clearly something like a deeply held belief that Waluigi shall never have any respect.
Right. Teach Kisu says a campaign adventure piece somewhere along the lines of Subspace Emissary. Brawl was hot garbage. I randomly tripped while writing this, but damn, Subspace Emissary is quality. So that's coming up a lot, Jeff. People really like Subspace Emissary.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think doing that again would make people excited. I wonder if it'll be like the Brawl one where literally every character was in there and really kind of heavily involved. Maybe. It'd be fun. Miss Fio says, I may be alone this one, but I missed the subtext that you were left insinuating that this was all make-believe in someone's imagination. The original N64 game and someone in Melee, it made clear that this was all about some kid playing with their action figures in their bedroom. Too. Every incarnation after Melee is strayed further and further away from that in favor of a big fan and the fan service about something so absurd it loses its innocence. I want to go back where it was all about matching your toys together and less of whatever Ultimate was about?
I'll say I like both because I like smashing the toys together, but then I also like the idea of like Kirby is the only thing that's going to survive this cataclysmic universe-ending event.
Well, because like,
I
it's like
that.
if that was your favorite toy, if your favorite toy was Kirby, of course, then Kirby gets to be the main star, right?
Right.
This is basically just your children doing all this. All right, and then Breadfish says Phoenix Wright, get him in there. He was in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so there's no excuse. I would love it. I guess it's not impossible. Boy, it would make me happy. That's not one I'm really expecting, even like pinning many hopes on. But gosh, I love Phoenix Wright. Such a great character. Alex Agogo says they've already got most of the little freaks that won these games, but I'd be happy to see either Lara Croft or Tifa. Man, we'd better not get a third Final Fantasy VII character. I'm sorry. I like all those goobers, but come on, Lara Croft.
Yeah, give us Kefka. I'm sorry, yes, Lara Croft.
That's another one. Like, obviously, there have been Tomb Raider games on Nintendo platforms, but
nah.
I mean, what would you want? Would you want like that, PlayStation 1 freak Lara Croft, or do you want the reboot Lara Croft?
Oh, I would want the PlayStation 1 triangle boob. Yes, absolutely. That would be great. That would be fun.
Yeah, I get what they're doing with the remake trilogy, but that Lara Croft was a little definitely you don't want that original Lara Croft. You definitely have to bounce it so much, but it was a bit too serious sometimes.
Oh yeah, some of those games are very good. Fun might not even be the word, but very good. But not all of them were. And at this point, I still have more nostalgia for the older Lara Croft games. I don't even like that much. So yeah.
Dugan says, picture a Tekken game with Nintendo execs, past and present, as the fighters. Reggie versus Yamaguchi. Bill Shredden as an assist fighter. Possibilities are endless.
Good joke.
If Reggie was still at Nintendo, right? Like, let's say he never left and just kept building and building. I wonder how likely it would ever be that he would straight up be in Smash, or they would just never actually put an executive in the game like that, no matter how much of a meme they became.
Yeah, and honestly, it's almost more likely now that he's gone, because it's like, oh, you could just be this character, but nah, I don't know. You're right. It's weird.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Ghoultor says, I just want the ring from Ring Fit, or more likely Dragos. Is Drago? Is that a Ring Fit character? I haven't actually played Ring Fit yet. Yeah, obviously, look at me.
Drago is the buff dragon that like taunts you and you fight against in Ring Fit Adventure. Yes. Honestly, I think that's likely.
Turbo Sean says, playable Crystal, have her use both staff and blaster, playing like a mix of Fox and Zelda. I mean, I want to, but they haven't done anything with Crystal in so long, Jeff. I don't know what they think about Crystal these days.
I mean, they probably think she needs to, belongs in the pervert jail, but that doesn't mean they won't put her in the game. I don't know.
I have a little a little game I'd like to play, Jeff.
Okay.
Let me know what you think about this.
Sure.
I have a list, because Crystal and Waluigi are assist trophies right now in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And there's been characters who were assist trophies or something else before that then became actual characters. So I want to know how much you would like or think any of these characters can come back.
Sure.
As actual characters now, not assist trophies. Starting with Akira from Virtua Fighter, or Kira, I don't know, but probably not. Probably not.
No.
Alucard.
No. That would be cool, but no.
If there was going to be another Castlevania character, it would be Alucard, but yeah, probably not. Andros, no. I don't think so. The Arcade Bunny, don't even know what that's from.
It's probably from the I think that's the Street Pass games that you bought, and then or that you could talk to the bunny and he would like sell them to you at like a discount or whatever.
Okay, here's one I would like. Ashley from the WarioWare series.
Oh yeah, I think Ashley is high up on the potential of WarioWare characters that I would like to see on there. I think I would still go with like 9 volt or whatever it was, 9 volt and 5 volt. I can't remember their numbers, but like them as like a duo, that would be cool.
I like Ashley. Black Knight. This is a bad guy from Fire Emblem. Okay. I defended like the last 3 rounds of adding more Fire Emblem characters into the game. I think even I'm like, hey, that's enough. Please don't add a Fire Emblem Engage character. Come on.
Yes, they will do Engage. They probably will.
So far, they've just added like the main character from each last Fire Emblem. We do not need a Lear or whatever from Engage in there. We just don't.
We don't.
Absolutely not.
Yep, we're good.
Bomberman.
I would like that. I think that I don't think it would happen, but I would like it a lot.
I like it. And there's a character that I do associate with Nintendo, even though it's like, Turbo Graphics and all sorts of other things.
Yep, Saturn for sure. Yep. But yeah, still.
A burrowing Snarget from Pikmin. Let's go ahead and say no there.
No.
So, don't say no right away to this one because we have Piranha Plant, Chain Chomp.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, you're right, but they've already done Piranha Plant, and it's like, oh, they're gonna do Chain Chomp as well. I would like that, especially if it's like Bow Wow from Link's Awakening. That'd be cool, but probably not.
All right, Chef Kawasaki from Kirby. Probably not the Kirby edition I would expect if there was going to be one at this point. I don't know. We got basically a lot of the Kirby heavy hitters in there already.
Meta Knight. They have all the ones that like my kids would probably, other than Mark's.
Color TV Game 15.
Yeah, let's go. I would love a Daytona car like fighter. Yeah, that'd be great.
The Devil from that Devil World game on NES? Probably not.
No.
Okay, how about Dylan? Remember Dylan's Rolling Western? They closed the studio down.
Yeah, they did. So no.
Dr. Kawashima from the Brain series.
I would love that. Yes, Dr. Kawashima could happen.
But I bet you'd like this one even more. Dr. Wright from the SNES version of SimCity.
I would like that too. Just Will Wright out there fighting around. Let's go.
Flies in Hand from Mario Paint.
Yes, that is actually a really good one. That would be fantastic.
Girahim. Remember Girahim? That's the
I like Girahim.
Twilight Princess and Girahim have that meme where it's the lawyer from Simpsons, like, exciting new protagonist, no Ganondorf. And then they changed exciting new protagonist, no Ganondorf. I'm still bitter about Girahim because I thought that Girahim was just going to be Vati and then wasn't. And if we got Girahim instead of Vati, I'd be furious.
No,
I just would.
I give me Girahim. Yeah,
no,
over
absolutely
Vati.
not.
Absolutely, yes.
No way. Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde for Pac-Man.
No.
Gray Fox or Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need anyone else from Metal Gear Solid, but I think, wouldn't it be Raiden if it was going to be another character? I don't know.
Probably. I kind of like Gray Fox, though. All right, I might start editing some of these that aren't going to happen for sure. Guile, Street Fighter.
Yeah, that could happen, of course. Any of those Street Fighter characters, now that Ken and Ryu are in there, yes, that could happen.
There's a big one. Isaac from Golden Sun. This is one people have requested a bunch.
Yes, I think Isaac probably will be in the next one.
I was going to say this because his name is Jeff, but Jeff from Earthbound.
No, I think the Earthbound, I think Ness and the other bastard are the only ones that are going to be in there.
Knuckles from Sonic.
Yeah, Knuckles could happen.
Maybe you think I imagine you get Knuckles or we get Tails or we get Shadow probably knowing their look.
Yeah.
Crystal from thing. There's that. Oh, okay,
absolutely not.
It might happen. I don't know. Man, if we did get a Fire Emblem character, if it was Lyn, I actually wouldn't mind too much. That would be okay. Midna, I think Midna's time has come and gone. Sorry to say.
No thanks to Midna.
Oh, I have to bring this up. A Nintendog.
Yeah, I think a Nintendo could happen because I like because those are like a creative thing where like they try to have a lot of fun figuring out how that would play, and I think they would have fun with that.
Yeah, I think that wouldn't be terrible. Samurai Goro from F-Zero.
Absolutely, like that is the kind of thing that would get me very excited. If Samurai Goro showed up anywhere, I would be excited. Yeah, let's go.
Shadow the Hedgehog actually is an assist trophy already.
Of course he is. Oh my god, we are.
It is like to me and you, that's a Poochie, and then to to all the Sonic fans, like no, that's like one of the core characters. We love Shadow.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
please God no.
Shovel Knight. I would love a
Shovel Knight would
just straight up kid.
Yes, that would be awesome.
I would love that.
I think that could happen too. I think
so.
It's one of the bigger indie games. I think that could happen.
Skull Kid. This is one that people have requested a lot. Jeff, Skull Kid from Majora's Mask.
Oh, that would be fun. I would like that a lot. That's a good pull.
That's a good character.
Yeah.
That's just like the design is good. I think that could be a lot of fun. Imagine they their ultimate attack, their final smash with the Majora's Mask moon crashing down on everybody. That'd be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love that. The Squid Sisters from Splatoon.
Yes, like Squid Kids are already in there. They're going to do more with Splatoon in the next Smash. 100%. It probably will be them.
Okay, so not bad. There's some more Fire Emblem characters here, like Tiki, probably not. Waluigi, there they are.
Did you skip Rusty? Is he not even an assist trophy? He's probably not.
Rusty
even
is not an assist trophy. I'm sorry. I was like, Rusty vacant.
What'd you say, Waluigi? Yeah, Waluigi better be in there. He better be a fighter. I mean, if we're doing a deluxe of Ultimate, he should be in there.
Oh, Dr. Wily and his Wily capsule. I don't think we're going to get Dr. Wily, but I like that he's an assist trophy. That's probably where he belongs, to be fair.
Yeah, that makes sense. Some of these make sense as assist trophies.
All right. Yuri Kozutaka from Fatal Frame. Boy, did I forget that's an assist character.
Yeah, no.
There they are.
Probably not. I'll say the one I think could be a character that's not a Nintendo character, but a friend, Zagreus from Hades. I think that could.
That would be so good, Jeff.
I think that could very well happen because
That would
Hades
rule.
was so successful on the Switch. Nintendo took notice of that. I think it's very likely.
I mean, they should do a few. If you did Zagreus, if you did Shovel Knight, and maybe so we had the Sans costume from Undertale. They should just put Sans in the game.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. And then the last one here is Zero from Mega Man X. Maybe if we had another Mega Man character, I guess Zero would be cool because we don't have X representation. I want Proto Man though. I'm a Proto Man boy. Shantae would be another. Yeah, I would really like Shantae.
Yeah, Shantae, I would love that as well. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, Shantae's good. Connell would. Okay, so there are still plenty of characters they can pull from.
More every day.
More. They keep making these video games. It turns out. All right, Jeff. Why don't we take a break? We'll read some more super chats. We'll talk about what we've been playing. How about it?
Sounds good. Okay.
I was just gonna go right to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Black Goku from
Shut the hell up.
future.
What are you doing? Are you doing a Bubba thing from Forrest Gump? And that's about it.
The Goku toothpaste and Goku spread.
Okay. Goku and grits.
All right. Bring it back to whenever you want.
Jeff, we're back. Read me them super chats.
Yeah, let's see here. Let me scroll up, make sure that I am caught up. From Boat Night, do you think our Switch games will carry over? I do think that, Mike. Is there any reason that wouldn't? I mean, is there any reason to think it wouldn't happen? Like, other than Nintendo being Nintendo?
Right. Nintendo's always Nintendo. There's always this weird chance of anything happening.
Right.
It would just be bizarre at this point to not do it. There are so many Switch owners that have these giant libraries. That is just the new normal now. People expect to be able to carry these things over. The infrastructure for the Switch 2 is probably not going to be that different from the Switch 1. I know there's been some talk in the past about maybe some unexpected challenges there. You gotta figure that stuff out. Yep. People are going to want their games. You're not going to be able to. Like, I know they talk about Smash Ultimate Deluxe, but to be clear, like, not in the way in the Wii U where, because we can't play Smash Ultimate on our Switch 2 anymore. No, not like that. Like, I don't want them to re-release every Switch game and charge me $60-$70 again. That'd just be crazy. They can't get away with that. Yeah, and Sean's saying that it could need a compatibility layer. It's not guaranteed, and like totally acknowledging that. But Nintendo's solution to this for a long time has just been, well, put the fucking thing in there. Just put the Switch in there. Put the Game Boy in there. Put the Game Boy Color in there. Put the Game Boy Advance in there. Put the DS in there. Like, they just, for all the next things, they just put the old thing in there so the old thing works. And I think worst comes to worst, they'll just do that. It'll be a little bit more expensive. Yeah, but we are going to need a permanent solution because, like, again, going forward, like the next system, like we're going to put a Switch and a Switch 2. No, you're right. Absolutely. They will. They did that with the PlayStation 3. I guess it had a PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 2 in it, right? Yeah. I think that it's I mean, they could, because the plan is to work with NVIDIA for 20 years. But I think you're right that the real solution is, well, if we're working together so long, let's just figure that out right now. They probably will have a solution, and I think NVIDIA will be responsible for much of the work there. All right, so let's see here. From Zach Burhands, chances the Switch 2 will have Game Pass. Pretty low. Pretty low. Single digits, I think. Low single digits, but it's not like some impossibility. Like 1 in 100 chance. Like, that's still relatively good if you're like all things compared to like what it was like for the chances of Game Pass being on the Switch or on a PlayStation 5. Like 1 in 100, it's not that bad. I mean, it would have to be like cloud gaming versions of all these games. It's not like they're going to make a Switch version for every single game on Game Pass. Yeah, it would be. I think it would be some weird version, some weird offshoot, new version of Game Pass. Yeah, I don't know.
Gilherm Rovita says, do you think the Switch MK2 gimmick will rely heavily on the Switch Mark II gimmick will rely Mortal Kombat 2 gimmick will rely heavily on the use of smartphones, maybe as a second screen / controllers, possibly bringing DS and 3DS to Nintendo Switch Online.
Don't give them any ideas.
Heavily rely is
DS
definitely not going to be the case. Yeah.
No, that stuff about the DS and 3DS is kind of cute, but no, come on. I mean, they have to have numbers to know that nobody used that Nintendo Switch app. Basically nobody, right?
Yep.
They have to be able to see that just didn't work. Obviously, it didn't. They stopped talking about it for the most part pretty soon after they launched it. So come on, we don't want smartphone like crossover stuff. We want that stuff built in. We want all that stuff on the console. We want Discord on the console and things like that. Come on.
Yep. That's where everything's moving. Nintendo should move in that direction as well. From Big Fresh 37, 100 Pikmin versus 100 Patapon. Who wins? The Patapon have weapons. I'm going with the Patapon.
Yeah, and the Patapon don't need a leader to unify them,
exactly,
right? If you take out Olimar or whoever, then the Pikmin are done.
If you turn off the music, aren't the Patapon done?
Yeah, but you can't stop the beat, right? Music never dies, all that kind of stuff.
Guilherme Rovita is back. Neo Geo Pocket Color, Gal Fighters, and says, I have it. Oh, okay.
I loved my Neo Geo Pocket Color. I mean, I had a good amount of games for it, I guess, because I had that Sonic Pocket Adventure, which was kind of a port of Sonic 2. I had Capcom vs. SNK on there, which ruled, and the card fighting, the card game Capcom vs. SNK, which also ruled. And gosh, I should have had more games on there than that, honestly. I don't know why I didn't have Metal Slug and some of these other things, but I loved my Neo Geo Pocket Color. That little analog nub thing you had on that was super clicky, felt so good. That's just a great system.
I ever used a Neo Geo Pocket Color, and I was always curious about it.
You're a portable freak. You should maybe track one down. Actually,
I think I played some of the games emulated, but I've never used the hardware.
Yeah. Oh, you have to use. It feels so good to hold. I loved that thing. I remember being at some high school basketball games for some reason and just sitting in the bleachers playing through the arcade mode of Capcom vs. SNK over and over again. That's where I learned about any of those SNK characters. That's the only reason I knew who Terry Bogard was when he got mad at the Smash, to be honest. I caught up since, but yeah, at the time, that's the only reason why.
Dr. Ryan says, one of the random names for a Mii fighter in Ultimate is Fisa Mech from the Mega 64 video. He could definitely have made it in and should have. That's a interesting poll. That's I would like that. Go. That would be fun. Nick Turbo says the 3DS eShop shopping bag as a fighter.
Oh, there you go.
That's fun. He does have hands and arms, right? Or arms and legs.
Yeah, I mean, I've done weird things before. We have Rod, we got Game & Watch. It'd be fun to see a kind of wacky one
I'm not
again.
Against it. Let's go for it. Hey, we're all caught up in the super chats.
Captain N in there. They would never do Captain N. They probably don't even know about Captain N in Japan.
No, Captain Rainbow is a pretty good one though. I still like that. Okay, yeah, all caught up on the super. Oh wait, no, we are. Are we caught? Yes, we are. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Jeff. What have you been playing? And I'm pretty sure it's Pikmin 4.
It's Pikmin 4. So I was traveling. I didn't have time for a lot of other stuff, but I made time for Pikmin 4 because it's very, very good. It's just very sticky. You want to keep pushing forward because you always just got something that means you can push forward further. And you the worlds have the big percentages on them and say, oh man, I've only got 40% explored of this area. Let's just go back there and see if we can cap it off. And I've done that in one of the areas so far. I'm pretty close in the second area. It's always fun to play. I know there are more Pikmin in this game I haven't even discovered. I just discovered one of the new species just now, or a species that have been in previous games, but it's cool to see them back. Yeah, it's such a good game. They really, really, really figured this series out. And it comes down to a lot of the light RPG mechanics of upgrading things and unlocking abilities, and that making it feel like you are that much more powerful and making you want to go back out in the world. But usually the way that worked in the past was you would find the Pikmin in the world, you would have the red Pikmin, and then eventually you find the blue Pikmin. Well, now you can go in water, and that's okay, so there's some gating, and now you have more blue Pikmin, so you could do even more on the other side of the water. And that was cool, but they still have that, and that still works. But now they've also added all of these abilities on top of that, the ability for Ochi to swim faster or to take out electric fences and things like that. It's just really well done. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's a relatively easy game. I think that they what I hear was after the credits, it does get a little bit harder if you want that challenge. And then the Dandori modes, which are these either multiplayer modes or this very time limited, how much can you get done in 3 minutes mode or 5 minutes mode. And those are more challenging, but they're also very replayable, and you could just like try to do your best and figure it out. And it's also fun to like, oh, I did pretty good on this, but I bet if I come back later after I've unlocked even more abilities, I can do this even faster. Just that whole setup is really well done. I said this in the Bombcast. I mean, it's my number 2 game of the year easily right now. It's that good.
Oh, you haven't played Resident Evil 4 yet, but
well, I did play some of it. I just, I also had played it before. So
shut the hell up. Yeah, I want to play it. I beat Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster last night, and before jumping into sex, I think I am going to go and get Pikmin 4 and play some more of that first. So I'm excited.
I love to hear it. I do. Yes, I know you played the demo. I think. By the end of that demo, you should feel, if you feel pretty good about it, you're going to feel even better.
Pretty good. I wasn't like 1,000,000% like, yeah, I get it. But yes. I was enjoying it.
Everyone is doing the what? Because you said jumped into sex instead of 6.
I was like, what? Oh, 6.
Yeah. You're having a bit of a Jeff Grubb mouth tonight, I've noticed.
No, I said 6. I just talked
fast. A little bit of a Jeff Grubb mouth. It's okay. Talking fast. Yes, that's definitely what it is.
I think it is. But, by the way, Final Fantasy V is so good.
That's the one I think I want to try. Yeah.
Yes, it should be. And I've been playing through them all, and I've been enjoying them. And I did this thing again, where I played Final Fantasy IV, and I'm like, why am I so hard in this game? This game's delightful and fun. And then I play 5 right afterwards, and I'm like, man, 4's not even close.
4's a real Crash Bandicoot.
Well, 4 is so lucky 5 didn't come out over here. I think it's the reason people have so much affinity for it, because it feels kind of simple. It feels very simple in a lot of ways compared to the complexity and just the scale of 5, which is such a fun, endearing game. Even at the end, it kind of opens up a bit, because there's almost like a bit of a Breath of the Wild moment at the end where you can go to the final dungeon. That they're like, well, you could do that right now, but you should probably unlock all these weapons by going to these other dungeons. And hey, the strongest summon in the game is over here, and you can unlock this special job if you go to this dungeon. So there's a lot of fun optional things you can do there. And doing that, and even just finding a good spot to grind and level up some jobs so that I have some pretty, like in the end game, I had a party composition where I could basically double cast Bahamut, the strongest summon spell, because I maxed out Summoner and I maxed out Regimage on a character. And then with that Mimic job, which is the optional job you can get in a secret dungeon, then you can just Mimic, which lets you repeat the action of the last character. And you can kind of just spiral that into constant double casting Mega Flare or other things. And it's so fun. And like I was just bombarding the final boss with dragon lasers, and it was just so satisfying. It's definitely the most elaborate ending any of the Final Fantasy games have by far at that point. To me, it feels like the first sort of complete Final Fantasy game where I don't have to see like, oh yeah, I really like this. Obviously, it's an older game, right? Blah, blah, blah. No, I love everything about Final Fantasy V. It's so much fun.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is the kinds of stuff that I found myself really enjoying about a Final Fantasy game. And when I do enjoy, like when I actually find myself like, oh, this is pretty cool. So 5 has always sounded appealing. I think having these pixel remasters here is like, okay, why not give it a shot when I get a little bit of time? That might be, who knows when that's going to be, maybe early next year, but I'm looking forward to trying 5.
And I think the pixel remaster does a lot of nice things for 5, a game that we've only ever had on like a PlayStation 1 here. And the Game Boy Advance version, I loved that.
Right.
But the visuals and music take a hit. Here you have the new arranged music. Sounds amazing. And the visuals look nicer. You miss some of the stuff they added to the GBA version. They added a couple like bonus jobs and a bonus dungeon in that one. I didn't really miss it though, so that's fine.
Okay,
I think this is the version to play for sure.
Okay, very good to know.
I'm excited to play Final Fantasy VI, but yeah, I think I will do some Pikmin now while everyone's playing Pikmin, and then check out the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. I like Final Fantasy. Man, look at all these people in chat mad at me about Final Fantasy IV. I wonder how many of them have beaten Final Fantasy V, is all I'm saying. I'm just saying, because whenever I play through these, especially these older ones, I always do them back to back to back. And like 3 and 4, I kind of like forget about almost as soon as I beat them. I enjoy them, of course. There's no bad mainline Final Fantasy games, honestly. I like all of them, but 4 is like, it's
other than 16 according to Twitter. Like I'm listening to Twitter right now.
Wow,
16's so bad. I did you watch that Honest Games trailer for 16?
No, because I haven't. I'm not that far in it, so I'm worried about spoilers.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a really good joke. It's like, oh, Final Fantasy 16 has made some changes, so it's so controversial. Kind of like 15 and 14 and 13 and 12. Oh, I'm noticing a pattern here. It's like, that's
shocking.
Right. Exactly.
It's shocking.
Right.
Turbo Shot chat says pie is good, therefore cake is bad. All right, I think Final Fantasy 4 and 5 are a bit easier to compare than pie and cake. But you know what? Cake is better than pie, even though I don't even like cake that much. No, I said Final Fantasy 4 is good.
Man, I like cake better than pie, but the pie is better than cake thing has become a big thing among people. But you don't like fruit, so. I have you as an ally for cake. All right, that's good to know.
I'll take cheesecake over both of those, and I don't. Cheesecake isn't really a cake or a pie. Closer to a pie, though. I agree.
I think it is. Yes.
This Discord sucks so bad. Henry's probably talking about. I think they're talking about Final Fantasy 16. To be clear, yeah.
I think also the pie versus cake thing as well.
Right. Yeah. I always just ignore that Final Fantasy stuff because I've been around that rodeo for a long. That's the fun thing about 14, though. Because everybody just loves 14 now, so it's it does matter. It is nice to play a game that everybody likes. Like even Diablo 4, and that settled down. There was that big spat of we all hate Diablo 4 now for a week or two there. It was kind of a bummer. I think we're around the corner on that. There's a patch coming out on the 8th. We'll see.
Yeah, but see how that goes. Yeah.
Oh, Cubivore, Jeff. I played 4 hours of Cubivore.
I watched you play some Cubivore while I had you up on the dashboard after we got done at a rest stop, and I was kind of watching mostly that way. It seems more interesting than I remember. I remember trying it for like a half an hour, being like, kind of like, oh, it's one of those N64 ports, and then kind of putting two and two together there, and losing interest in it really quick, and that's why I got rid of it almost immediately, regretfully. But when I watched you play, it's like, it's one of those games that Nintendo had ideas for. How did that work out for you?
Yeah, I never had played it, so I had some ideas what it would be like. I knew you ate animals and you somehow changed to like different forms and stuff like that, but didn't really know what I was getting into. But I was actually enjoying it. I did play it for 4 hours straight. It's not like I was forcing myself to. It was a kind of a fun loop of starting as just a square, a cube. And then, slowly eating other animals, getting new forms, mating, and getting new forms. And just all the random weird stuff that's happening there, like the mating stuff, which is somehow weirder than you're expecting. The actual vor that's in the game, that's a surprise, too. Like weird things like there's a day-night cycle for no reason, except that when it's night, your character falls asleep and recites a poem about what's kind of happening in that level. Like weird stuff like this. Like, okay. There's a lot of first-person narration, It's like, oh, this game's interesting.
The comparisons to Spore were, I thought, pretty apt. Even though they're still different games, there are some elements that kind of carry over. Like, oh yeah, the cell stage of Spore. There's some comparisons there for sure.
That, and it made me think of Evo Journey to Eden on
SNES. That's right.
Which is another flawed game with amazing ideas. I think there's actually a bit more substance than Evo even into this.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it. It's obviously a big curiosity, but it's a fun curiosity. And it is, it's neat to be able to just play this rare game and see what it's actually about. You killed me when you kind of got me, though, with that Nintendo 64 line.
It's like I saw my opportunity to shoot and I fired. I was just like, oh man, this is it. Because it's like, it is probably the most N64 ass game on GameCube, even like compared to Animal Crossing, which was very N64 on GameCube. Now Cubivore even more so. Those textures look like straight up N64 textures, and that's a big price to pay for an N64 game, but
it's basically a Nintendo 64 game with draw distance.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. With they removed the fog and gave you unlimited draw distance, and that's what it's going to end up looking like. These days, who gives a shit? That's kind of a cool thing. But at the time, I remember being disappointed and frustrated by that because it was like I had moved on. I am on GameCube games. They look so much better.
Sure.
And it's like,
maybe that's why they didn't sell very many copies of it.
I think that's
there's a lot of reasons they probably didn't. Yeah. It's a weird video game.
Yep.
But but it's mine now. Now it's my weird video game, and who knows? Maybe I can show it off to you and the Giant Bomb crew.
Yeah, let's do that. I think that would be fantastic.
Absolutely. All right, Jeff. I think that's about that. Does it? We're caught up on super chats. Next week we'll be taking questions. again. Well, who knows what will be happening by this time next week? Nintendo news is popping off. There could even be a Pokemon Presents on the 8th, and that would be on a Tuesday, so we might be able to talk about that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That rumor's true. All right. Hey, there's new 90s Disney out, by the way, about the People Mover /
I can't wait to listen to this one. I'm excited.
Yeah. Check it out, please, everybody. 90s Disney, 90sdisney.com. There's 90s Disney and all the podcast places. What's up with you, Jeff? What's going on?
Just
Grubb tomorrow.
Yep, Game S Morning's back. I have Lucy on. Kind of just getting back into things with Giant Bomb. Like I said, I'm going to try to play some Mortal Kombat. Got some other ideas for shows that'll be popping off soon. So just go over to giantbomb.com. Give us a follow.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Just Tuesday, huh?
Yeah, just Tuesday. It's like, oh yeah, it's my first day back from the vacation, so kind of get back in the swing of things was tough. But here we are.
Bye.
Oh, let's freaking go.
Thanks, Blessing.
Enjoy your gaming.
Thanks, Rock.
Enjoy your gaming.
Thanks, Bensar.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm good at that. No wonder you had me do a clean take.
Kid Goku, Goku from the future, Goku Super Saiyan 4,
I thought
the
that was
one
just
from
Goku
the future
Black.
too.
No, that's from a different.
Zamasu, which is